It is Friday, the 28th of November. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Wari Mumbogwa and these are the headlines. All systems go for digital migration. In sports, 12 million shillings boost for Soya from Safaricom. Welcome. Migration from analog to digital broadcasting will take place in 3 phases, starting from December 31st in Nairobi and its environs. Meanwhile, the 3 media houses who had contested the switch-off dates, Nation Media Group, Standard Group, and Royal Media Services, have been allowed to have their own licenses. Here is more. Digital migration is set for December 31 in Nairobi and its environs. After consultations between ICT Cabinet Secretary for Information, Communications and Technology Fred Matiang'i, Communications Authority of Kenya Secretary General Francis Wangusi, and 3 local media houses, it was agreed that the switch-off will take place in 3 phases.
The authority has commenced the process that will result into issuance of infrastructure license for self-provisioning signal distribution for 3 media houses. This is in line with the recommendation of the Supreme Court.
This has been a long and contracted process, but one which we have no choice to embrace given the global digital migration of June 2015.
The first phase will take place in Nairobi and its environs on December 31. The second phase will take place in February 2nd, 2015 in Mombasa, Malindi, Nyeri, Meru, Kisii, Eldoret, Nyahururu, Machakos and Narok. The third phase will take place in March 30, 2015 in Garsen, Lodwar, Lokichogio, Migori, Voi and other areas left out.
Digital TV will deliver more choices for viewers and pave the way for exciting new services, thus securing Kenya's place as a regional player and leader in creative industry. The
Cabinet had Thursday approved new dates for migration of analog to digital broadcasting. According to a statement released by the Presidential Strategic Communications Unit, the Cabinet was notified that the country is now ready to undergo digital migration following resolution and agreement on the issues that initially hindered the process.
Some of our colleagues in the media industry would have liked more time so that they are able to switch off at a later date than 31st of December. We are aware of the challenges that some of our broadcasters face, but we are committed to working together with all the broadcasters to ensure that whatever challenges that they may face are addressed and dealt with.
3 local media houses, Nation Media Group, Standard Group and Royal Media Services have been allocated only 5% of the frequencies. Reporting for WTV News, I'm Wari Mumbogwa. Now that story brings us to our feedback question. Do you support the digital migration dates set? Do you support the digital migration dates set? Now send us your thoughts on our SMS line on 20058 and we'll sample them and post them on our Facebook page, WTV Kenya. Africa is among the fastest growing economies in the world and everyone is seeking to invest in the continent. Among those who are knocking on Africa's door is China, pouring billions of dollars in investment. Kenya is among those with a bilateral trade agreement with China, and the Chamber of Commerce sought to solidify this position with a status update of the relations. Rading Biko with more.
According to the National Bureau of Statistics, there are more than 70 Chinese companies operating in Kenya and the trade volume stand at $3.5 billion. But this bilateral trade has not gone well with some Kenyan companies who have accused their Chinese counterpart of subjecting them to unfair and unscrupulous business practices.
We are for Chinese business, but we are not for unscrupulous business. And we wouldn't want the Chinese to take advantage of the fact that they have a bigger economy than us, that they are a stronger country than us, that they are supporting us on infrastructural projects, to use that might to come and defraud hardworking and honest Kenyan business people.
The 2 Kenyan companies accusing the Chinese counterpart of malpractices are Reliable Earth Movers Construction Company and Ken Neat Limited. For the case of Reliable Earth Movers Construction, they ordered an excavator worth $50,000, which they agreed upon in China and even made down payment. But when the consignment arrived, it was an old excavator.
It was really, when I walked to the bank and borrowed that money, my goal was that I'll be getting, revenue so that I can service their own, and so that I can be able to employ more people, and so that I can be able to get more work. But now here I am. This incident is a very serious one to anyone. Losing 6-7 million is a lot, especially when you have borrowed to the bank.
The Kenya National Chambers of Commerce and Industry is now calling upon local business partners to register with the chambers to ease trade with China. At the same time, the chamber is seeking new market for Kenyan products as a way of expanding the trading partners.
Today we have a delegation in Poland. We have a delegation going to Jordan. We've had delegations go to Nigeria, to Qatar, to Turkey, to very many other countries. And the government has done a lot in putting in place instruments of trade that will be able to promote give greater market access of Kenyan goods in those markets.
With such initiative being undertaken, the future looks green for local business people. China is among Kenya's key trading partners. The relationship dates back in 1963, when the country got its independence. China was among the 4 countries to open their embassy in Nairobi. However, this good relationship might be ruined by some Chinese business people who have defrauded their Kenyan counterparts. The Kenya National Chambers of Commerce and Industry has written a letter to the Chinese government seeking legal action against the Chinese business people. Reporting for WTV News, I'm Rading Biko.
Now, it's said that music is one aspect of language, that no matter what language is used, it has the ability to portray emotions. Now, Agnes Minor interacted with Nairobi Girls Choral as they explore different rhythms, sounds, and style.
Now, music binds us all together across races, religions, and continents. Now, meet the Nairobi Girls Choral, a group of beautiful girls and gorgeous voices that was formed in 2007 and has traveled throughout Africa. Now, the most amazing part is that they will be traveling to the US for their first America excursion to give a voice to the African woman.
There is a Lord you cannot bear, that you can't carry.
We have visited 2 countries in Africa. In 2008, we visited Mozambique during the World Council of Churches Conference. 2009, we visited Johannesburg, South Africa for the YWCA conference. Mostly we do composition. It is an all-round. This is kind of a choral group. We arrange music, we adapt and arrange and compose, majorly using the instrument voice to perform. So we perform any kind of music, any type of music that can be performed.
So what can we expect from the visit to US?
One, you can be sure the visit will open avenues for these girls and many other Kenyan groups, because as we go to perform in Chicago and Nashville, we are not just performing as Nairobi Girls Choral. We are indeed representing Nairobi County, from the name, and Kenya as a whole. So we are going to open ways. We are going to open very many doors for performing groups from this country to be able to also go abroad or to the US and showcase their talents.
Well, as we all know, music is a form of art that we interact with every day of our lives, and it's one of the most influential form of entertainment. Let's listen in to the beautiful voices. Wow, amazing voices we've got right there. Not forgetting that the Nairobi Girls Choral have a couple of songs in which they celebrate the beauty and the culture of our republic. Agnes Minor reporting for WTV.
The National Transport Safety Authority stripped PSV operators of their licenses after sexually assaulting a woman. Now here is Vinny Otieno with more on the news wrap.
The government has cautioned those in the Matatu business that they risk having their licenses cancelled should the women be assaulted either by the crew or in their vehicles.
who so nonchalantly undress and humiliate their sisters or even mothers in public. It is criminal, and as a woman, I am angry.
Devolution Cabinet Secretary Anne Waiguru, whose ministry is responsible for gender affairs, says they are working with other government agencies to not only cancel the licenses of matatu crews found culpable, but also those of the circles they operate under. The Makueni County Assembly now wants to be given powers to access and manage funds sent to the county after it impeached Governor Kivutha Kibwana. In a petition forwarded to the Senate, the MCAs want the Assembly allowed to operate an account into which the National Treasury will disburse funds meant for the development in Makueni. The 15 MCAs want the Senate to amend certain sections of the Public Finance Management Act to authorize the clerk of the County Assembly to allow the transfer of funds from the newly created bank account. The body of the late Homa Bay Senator Gerald Otieno Kajwang, who passed on last week having suffered cardiac arrest, was on Friday morning laid to rest in his rural Waundu home in Bita constituency. Thousands of Mona, among them leaders and members of the public, thronged the home. ODM party leader Raila Odinga, dressed in Luo traditional regalia of animal skin with a cap made of cow skin, and was carrying a spear, drawing wild cheers from the crowd. Reporting for WTV News, I am Winnie Otieno.
And in sports, mobile service provider Safaricom has boosted the Sports Personality of the Year Award Gala with a whopping 12 million shillings sponsorship. The event, which will be held on January 16, 2015, will acknowledge the best sports personalities in 2014.
The 6th edition of Sports Personality of the Year Award has been boosted hugely by mobile service provider Safaricom with an astonishing 12 million shillings. With athletics having dominated in the past year, Soya founder Paul Terregant has promised changes on how the winners will be selected and said judgment will be given priority. This time, the public will have a chance to vote for their favorite athletes and teams starting December 10th. The overall Sports Personality of the Year will pocket 150,000 Kenya shillings, where the male and female Sports Personality of the Year will get 100,000 each, with first and second runners getting 75,000 and 50,000 in each of the categories. The panelists will not only consider athletes breaking the records or winning some races, but an athlete who has broken the national record in an international event without necessarily winning will also be considered. The big gala will take place on January 16, 2015 in Nairobi.
And that's all from our news desk. Thank you for joining us. My name is Wairi Mumbogwa. Have a great weekend.